Hello and welcome to another IT Serbia podcast episode. Today we are talking about digital nomads. It's a popular thing. Recently you must have heard about it. And today we have a guest. With us is Predrag Gajić. He's a sourcing and community leader of Toptal. Hi Predrag.
Hi, how are you? Thank you for inviting me.
It's nice to have you here. So, can you please explain your title? It's Sourcing and Community Leader. What do you do?
Well, basically my position is, sourcing and community, which means, yes, I'm in charge of sourcing and getting new talents to a Toptal. And also from community side, my position is to support different communities and to build up community in Toptal. Mm-hmm. I mean, community of top talents in our company.
Yeah. Okay. So for those that don't know, can you say a few words about Toptal and the way it functions?
We started as a startup company 5 years ago, and so far we are rapidly growing. The main goal of company is to connect top talented people from all over the world with top companies that we have on the other side. So yes, we are kind of matchmaking company. So we're connecting top talents with top companies, and we're providing them a chance and opportunity to work remotely from anywhere, anytime, and to have freedom they want to have.
Yeah, that's good. So basically, you're dealing with freelancers and companies as talents that work for your clients.
Yeah.
Right?
So dealing with top talents and how we do it. So basically, we have a filtration of people who are trying to be part of our community. On one side, we are testing people's top skills, and also, of course, we are testing our clients. So we're working really with top companies on one side and with top people on the other side. Mm-hmm. So as we have filtration and the screening of people's top skills, we also have a screening of our clients. Mm-hmm. So basically that's how it works.
Yeah, so you basically protect each side.
Yeah, so on one side we are protecting clients and providing them a high quality of services. And on the other side, for developers, we're providing them security, either to be paid on time, we provide them a cash flow and everything else, which usually freelancers, contributors, they have.
Yeah, one of the things that I've noticed is that you have a really great blog with really cool posts, and one subject that's really dominant, and I see it often in my mailbox, is like articles about digital nomads. So I guess that lots of freelancers that work for Toptal are free to roam and work remotely, right?
Yeah, well, basically the term digital nomad, of course, it's coming from nomadism, and it defines people who are traveling around the world and, well, they don't have a permanent place to live at. So technology is giving us a chance to work remotely from any part of the world. So a lot of people decided to make this jump and say, okay, I don't want to be in this city anymore. Mm-hmm. I want to travel around the world. And that all come to a term digital nomad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I see that hashtag a lot in my Twitter feed. Yeah. Along with nice pictures of guys sitting, on the beach.
On the beach,
yeah, with their laptops and, in a rainforest or some cafe, in the distant part of the world. So, I'm a family guy. I have two beautiful children and a wife, so I would really love that. When I was a bit younger, like 10 years ago, I also had an opportunity to do that. But no, back then you didn't have that technical advancement that would allow such a thing. So
yeah, Well, you see, when you look at the 21st century and what is going on, now we have a lot of jobs published that people can work remotely.
Mm-hmm.
And a few years ago, it was not possible. Well, a lot of people realize that they don't have to be closed in the office from 9 to 5 and do their efficient work. So basically working remotely is giving us a lot of opportunities which we usually didn't have.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, we are all more efficient because we used to spend like few hours per day to go to the office and to go back. So it's like 2 hours per day. And now even when you wake up, you can be at your work. So basically all what you need is just a PC and a Wi-Fi.
Yeah, that's good. And I guess I used to work at home, a part of my career. And I think that it's not always a good thing to work in a room where your bed is, let's put it that way. But I find it really inspiring when I take my laptop in a cafe, and I like the noise. Some people even there's a website that plays like a background ambient noise for you while you work. Did you know that?
Okay.
So you can choose, do you want to be at seaside or you want to be in a crowded cafe or stuff like that. So I guess I'm not the only person that finds that like inspiring. And what do you think? How many industries apart from programming can live in this nomadic lifestyle?
Well,
I'm not really sure.
When we're coming to a question, who can be a digital nomad and who can work remotely? Sure, it's limited to certain jobs and certain industries. And of course, if you have a job in production industry, you will not be able to be a digital nomad. But if you're working in any kind of service industry, digital industry, marketing, PR, software development, of course, you're definitely going to be able to work as a nomad. So now we have situation that most of nomads are coming from Western countries. So why? So basically the cost of living, for instance, in Oslo is not as same as living in Bangkok.
Yeah.
So of course there is a quality of life, but if you're good in your work, you will be able to support yourself in any other location.
Yeah.
So that's why people decide to be a digital nomads. Also, there is a lot of opportunities to meet other people, to meet new cultures. Well, there is an interesting blog post from our CEO, Brandon Benishut, and he's basically also you can find it on our webpage, and he says why basically the Brandon is a prototype of digital nomad, and he says why travel as an engineer or freelancer, because it's awesome.
Yeah.
That's the only reason why he liked it. And also there is advice about the tools, what you must have on your travel. So it's not only a backpack, so you can read the blog and see what it is. Well, there's a lot of tools that you must have on your adventure, on your freelance. Such as a backpack, a laptop, unlocked smartphone. Basically, it's the guide for nomads. Yeah. So if you decide to be a nomad, definitely you have to read the Brandon's posts and to see what you must have.
Well, that's good. Trip. We must include a link in show notes.
Yeah, I will.
Okay, that's good. And what about the challenges of being a digital nomad? There's a blog post that I read somewhere. Perhaps it was on medium.com, or I'm not really sure. I'll try to find it. Okay. But essentially, it deals with the medical complications when you're digital nomad, because you have right now we're in our office here in Belgrade, and we have a desk, a chair that's somewhat ergonomic and stuff. But if you're working from a cafe, from a really small desk, or you're sitting with your laptop on your knee or stuff like that, then article says that if you do that like a couple of years, it will definitely hurt your health. So do you have any advice for people regarding that?
We do have. That's also something that we have on our blog post. So what you must do when you're a digital nomad. Of course, you mentioned the challenges when you're a nomad or a freelancer. So, there is a lot of challenges. First of all, you must think about the jobs. You have to find a way how to support yourself. Plan the cash flow. Of course, networks like Toptal can help you on this, because you don't need to think about all these things. So we find you a job. But again, a big challenge is to accept the fact that you might be alone on the road far from the home. Mm-hmm. So I think that the most important thing when you're a nomad is time management and personal management. If you are not good in organizing your life, you will probably not have a great experience as a digital nomad. Work has to be done at the end of the day. Mm-hmm. So time management and personal management are probably the biggest challenges for every nomad. As I mentioned, all these things you can find on Toptal blog. We're mentioning the things that if you're working remotely, you must have a time for proper meal, proper exercise, anatomic seating. Yeah, the stereotypes that people are working from the beach. Yeah, that's the stereotype. Yeah. In the reality, it's not like that.
Yeah, I tried that, and it's not really comfortable.
It's not comfortable. You probably not take your PC to a beach and where you can damage something. Yeah, that's the stereotype. All we need is some quiet place where you can finish your work, and when you finish everything, you will go out and go for surfing, grab the waves, and enjoy the life.
So, are you familiar? Are there like hubs for digital nomads around the world? Like, is there a digital nomad tourism?
There is. It's still growing because digital nomadism. It's not only a trend; it's the way of life, or how people enjoy their work. But there are hubs, there are co-working spaces, there are digital nomad communities. So we are trying to be in touch with all of them to support those communities, because at the end, most of them will become Toptalers. Yeah. So we believe they will. So. But yes, the community is growing, and there is a lot of people working remotely. I had a chance to meet a lot of them from all over the world. So yeah, there is a lot of smart, and not only smart, really interesting people that you can find in this nomadism community. Yeah,
that's really interesting. So basically, apart from Toptal investing in connecting the various digital nomad communities, are there any online communities that you're aware of that you'd like to share with our listeners that you can join? And perhaps it's a social network type of community, so that you can interact with other peoples and share experience.
I think there is a lot of communities like that, even online digital nomads. They are trying to gather them from all over the world. But if we talk about the platforms that connect clients and nomads, I think there is no specific platform when you can say, yes, there is only digital nomads who can work remotely on the projects. But there is a lot of other platforms like Freelance, Upwork, Toptal as well, that connect freelancers and contractors with the clients and the projects. Also, it's not the case only for software development. On Freelancer or Upwork, you can find projects from many industries. But there is a challenge when you go to platforms like this. So you have to build up your profile. Sometimes you have to compete with somebody with a low price. Well, is it the right way when you're competing? So you're reducing the price of your knowledge to get the project. Well, we don't see this is the right way for people to work. So that's the reason why we are approaching to freelancing and contracting on different ways. So yes, if you want to set your rate, okay, let's see what you really know. Let's test your knowledge. And if you pass the screening and everything, in that case, your knowledge worth that amount that you're requesting.
What's interesting about the whole story is that most freelancers work alone. What about teams? So not all projects are such that a single person can handle them. So there must be projects in Toptal and anywhere else, basically, that require a team of people to work on them. So how do digital nomads handle, for instance, time zone differences and stuff like that?
Well, as we mentioned before, there is a lot of challenges being digital nomad. It's not easy. For instance, in Toptal, we have senior engineers. So senior engineers are able to handle all these issues. So they don't need any kind of supervision. So they're able to finish all tasks on time. But there is a challenge to handle time zones. So you have to be aware of this. Sometimes it's difficult. If you have clients from really far time zone, it might be difficult to wake up at 4 or 5 in the morning to have a daily meeting with the clients. Also, I don't see that being part of a remote team, it's not a big challenge for someone who is really senior. It might be a challenge for someone who is not confident enough and who doesn't have enough knowledge to handle technology on this way. But for seniors, I don't think this is a big challenge. Of course, on Toptal, sometimes people are part of teams. They're all remote, of course. But using technology, it's not a big issue. So even if you're not in the same office, we can see each other, we can talk live. So what is the difference? Either we're sitting here or we are now in different parts of the world. So for me, there is no difference. In my team, now I have like 6 or 7 people, and we are all from different parts of the world, starting from South America to Russia. So there is like 10 or 12 hour difference. But we have daily meetings, we have weekly meetings, and it's working.
Yeah, it definitely is. So, as probably our listeners know, I'm the owner of Orange Hill, and Orange Hill is a talent provider, is that the term, I guess, for Toptal, meaning that we have a cooperation and some of our programmers work for Toptal, and I must say that everything is great. But we didn't have an opportunity to work on a project that requires a team of people to work on. So what interests me is, for instance, here in Orange Hill we have a certain company culture and a certain way of doing things and procedures and using a certain set of tools. So what if we land on a project that's complex enough? Do you then assign a senior to a project that will, set up everything, or do you? How do you handle those situations?
Well, on Toptal, you have, first of all, we have a matchmaking team.
Mm-hmm.
So matchmaking team is in charge that every single developer or designer is dedicated or assigned to a project and to be a perfect match
Mm-hmm.
for that. For instance, if you're really good in using Angular or JavaScript, we will not send you to do a PHP project.
Yeah.
Of course. So,
Yeah.
but we will also see, are you, I don't know, experienced and comfortable doing front end or back end, or did you do some kind of same application or same project? So the matchmaking team is in charge that every single developer or designer is going to be a full match for a project.
Yeah.
Also, you mentioned using certain technologies and certain project management. Yes, of course, when you're sitting in the office, you can implement some kind of agile methodology.
Mm-hmm.
You can work directly with the team on a daily basis.
Yeah.
But yes, you can do it also with a remote team.
Mm-hmm.
Usually what people do, yes, they're using some kind of agile methodology. So clients, they're presenting project to our matchmaking team.
Mm-hmm.
When they present the project, technology, platform, I don't know, programming languages they want to use, then we're sending them a certain developer. Then
So you have a senior advisor at that stage that talks to a client and perhaps suggests a different technology and better solution.
Of course, the matchmakers, they're all senior engineers, and they're all they used to be developers, but now they're helping us to be a part of matchmaking team.
Yeah.
And when you start the project with the client, clients also, they realize that if they're working with the remote developers, the best way is to use an agile. So yes, we will give you a functionality, and we will give you a deadline of, I don't know, you will agree the milestones with the client, either to be on a weekly or 2 weekly basis, and you will be delivering functionalities as you agree with the client. So it's all possible.
Yeah.
So it might be strange when you're working with a remote team, but remote work, we believe there is no big differences between remote work and working in the office.
Yeah.
Even I believe that people, when they're working remotely, they're more efficient.
Yeah. I've listened to an episode of 5 Minute Geek Show. It's a podcast by Matt Stauffer. He's a really cool guy, and he's an owner of Titan company, and I believe that all of his employees are remote workers. So he basically talked about challenges of hiring remote workers working for a company, which is a bit different than freelancers working for Toptal. For instance, they might have a client that's based in US, and if they hire a programmer that's from Europe, then there are extra costs for their company to fly the programmer to US to meet the client if they need to. There's a time difference, there's a language barrier, and all that kind of stuff. Of course, there's also I guess there are laws in US and Canada that prevent, make it harder to hire someone that's not from the North America and stuff like that. So it's not all that, great when you try to find a job in a US company directly, as an employee working from Europe. It's hard, but this way definitely works.
It works, yeah.
Yeah.
It works because we will be testing your English conversation skills. We will be testing your technical knowledge. Also, at the end, we will test your coding skills. So we will be testing you on a few steps, and if you're right match, you're going to a right project, speak with the right client.
Yeah.
So it is possible, but you need a proper screening, you need proper testing and everything.
Yeah. Okay, so let's finish our conversation by saying a few words about Serbian Toptal community. So right now you're here in Belgrade for a reason, strengthening the community.
Yeah, I recently came from Portugal, Serbian, and also to support Serbian Toptal community with several events. Well, Serbian Toptal community is close to, well, it's over 60 people now. Mm-hmm. And the important thing, what we see about Serbian freelancing community in general, that a lot of these people are extremely smart, super smart. Mm-hmm. And most of them work with us for a very long time. And also our clients are very, very satisfied with them because they are really big professionals. Mm-hmm. Serbians and the entire Balkan region, we find that our people speak English on a very high level. Mm-hmm. So conversation and communication with the clients is not an issue. And also another thing that our people have here is the expertise level. Mm-hmm. They have been working either on startup projects or on consultancy companies. And what they can provide to our client is consultancy service as well. So it's not only just about the coding. So they have been developing their own products. They know the technologies. So they're able to speak with the clients on different levels. Mm-hmm. Also, cool thing about Toptal community, Serbian Toptal community, we gather all these people very often. Either we invite them to grab a beer and talk mm-hmm. about the life, or we rent a house at Balaton Lake mm-hmm. in Hungary and invite them to enjoy that music festival, or we organize courses or mentoring program where people can share the knowledge. At the end, we are networked with almost 2,000 talented people from all over the world, and I think there is something for everybody. Even if you have some problem with technology, you can always find a solution on mm-hmm. our Slack channel. So you will probably find the answer you might have, mm-hmm. you might need on a Slack challenge.
I didn't know about that Slack channel.
Yeah, we have a Toptal Slack channel. Also, I know they're great people, and I'm sure they enjoy to work mm-hmm. with us.
That's great. I think this show is really good. Thank you for your time. And next time you're in Belgrade, call us. We'll have a beer.
Yes, I will definitely call you to join our community gathering. And once again, thank you for inviting me. And I believe that, and I hope that this story may inspire some new people to jump in the different way of living, different way of
I believe
working.
I believe it will. Once again, I'm really sorry that I'm not too old to try it, but I have a family, so digital nomadism is not for me. That's too bad.
Even if you have a family, you can travel with them.
Yeah, that's true. But I think I tried it a couple of years ago and it didn't work. Having a small child of a couple of years.
You had to be prepared. So I suggest you to go Brandon Benish's blog post and to see what you must have, must do when you're traveling.
Okay, I'll definitely do that.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you once again. Thanks for listening. This has been another episode of IT Serbia podcast. And talk to you real soon. Bye.